Modern lifestyle is marked by high challenges of stress, bad food habits, sedentary lifestyle, and many other collective factors which have made diabetes one of the major health problems of our time. Diabetes is a chronic disease caused by high levels of sugar or glucose in the blood, insufficient production of insulin in the pancreas, or also possible not being able to use the produced insulin in the body are major factors in the incidence of diabetes. Quote, over 194 million people suffer with diabetes worldwide. This global figure is estimated to reach 333 million by 2025 if current trends continue. Recent figures from the American Diabetes Association reveal more than 20 million Americans are afflicted with the disease, while approximately 6 million more lie undiagnosed and another 40 million or more may be considered pre-diabetic. It is thought that diabetes will be the biggest pandemic in human history. There are a lot of people interested in this prediction. I mean also a lot of greed, manipulation, and business calculations are connected to the problem here. The current rate of people becoming diabetic in the United States is doubling every 10 years. This has resulted in a windfall for pharmaceutical companies capitalizing on this issue. With the drugs designed to treat type 2 diabetes but not deal with the underlying cause, these drugs have serious side effects. One of the most popular diabetes drugs, Anvindia, was pulled off the market in 2011 after a number of studies showed that the drug increased the risk of heart attack among type 2 diabetes patients. The manufacturer of the drug reached a $3 billion settlement in December 2011 over its fraudulent marketing of the drug, the largest federal criminal drug company settlement to date. End of quote. There is one thing which we can consider in terms of natural medicine, to consider the element of bitter in nature. It is good to keep in mind that essential oils alone are not the ultimate cure for diabetes, but certainly a very good complementary approach. Essential oils can always accompany a person with diabetes, adding its own values to the necessary steps of lifestyle changes, dietary changes, psychological changes. In principle, since diabetes has to do with sugar metabolism, fruits, vegetables, herbals, essential oils with bitter taste are certainly always a good choice. The bitter taste stands in opposition to the sweet taste in our 6 human tastes, defined by Ayurveda: bitter, sweet, pungent, sour, astringent, and salty. Bitter food items are naturally a great helper to keep glucose levels balanced in the body. Also, they help to increase our energy over the day. Bitter foods also help to stimulate the liver to produce bile and thus burn calories and fats. They can be a great help for a dietary supplement to treat the disease. It will not be surprising that we find essential oils, for example, from the genus Artemisia, with their usually very bitter tastes, as good parallel treatments, possibly in case of diabetes. Examples of bitter foods items are, for example, fenugreek, spinach, orange peel, gentian, bitter melon, dandelion, dill, raw eggplants, bitter gourd, and turmeric. In nature, bitter means, in most cases, pay attention, do not take too much of it. It can also just mean, keep away, I'm toxic. But what does this mean? Hippocrates rightly said, everything is toxic, nothing is toxic. It is the dosage which is important. Even animals do like bitter, but they know instinctively when they need the bitter taste and how much. And they go for it when they are sick. Bitter equals medicine in nature's apothecary. Quote, if the plant that one of our hunter-gatherer ancestors munched was bitter and toxic, it would be pro-survival if that bitter taste signal tamped down hunger, so he or she would eat less of it. Today we can consciously exploit that tendency by eating bitters before meals to help to control appetite. End of quote. Here an essential oil synergy. Single essential oils, especially when stemming from bitter plants, as we have already seen, can be of great influence for controlling diabetes. Sometimes also synergistic blends of several essential oils together can do the trick. One prominent study from Georgetown in 2005 proposed an interesting combination of bitter, pungent, and astringent taste. These oils are fenugreek, cinnamon, cumin, and oregano. Quote, the essential oils for diabetes blends were able to improve insulin sensitivity when taken internally, which can be replicated by including oil blends diluted into a carrier and consumed in capsules, drinks, and recipes. End of quote. We can also consider the omega-3 fatty acid oils. For example, here are a few. Flax oil. The famous research medical doctor Joanna Budwig, when investigating on the omega-3 fats, especially flax oil, had already found out decades ago that not only cancer patients' tumors began disappearing when using her dietary protocol, but their liver dysfunction and diabetes were completely alleviated. Then there is, for example, also chia oil, Salvia hispanica, a good example for omega-3 fat. A quote here, in a study of 20 humans with diabetes, one variety of this seed called salba helped participants control blood glucose, reduce blood pressure, and lower C-reactive protein, a major marker of heart disease risk. The study was published in the journal Diabetes Care. Chia seems to check glucose from getting into the blood. It is known that it increases energy without reaching out to the sweet taste. One reason why the Aztecs have used chia to perform the long walks in the high mountains. Then another very famous and important omega oil is black cumin, another hero in the combat against our modern degenerative diseases. And this is black cumin or Nigella sativa. Again, like in the case of flax oil, Nigella sativa has highly successful success in cancer therapies. But the Cancer Research Laboratory of Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, found out that it has an effect in lowering also the blood sugar levels, which is essential for the treatment of diabetes. Also, studies at the University of Putra, Malaysia, found out that Nigella sativa carrier oil and essential oil also significantly ameliorate free radicals and improve antioxidant capacity, thus reducing the risk of diabetic implications. And then olive oil. Olive oil has since ages helped humans in so many cases of health and regaining balance. We know today from research that a diet rich in olive oil and avoiding unhealthy saturated or heated unsaturated fats, together with a good balance of fibers from fruits and vegetables and grains and nuts, is a powerful way to prevent and control diabetes. It helps efficiently to control blood sugar levels and enhances insulin sensitivity. These benefits have been very well documented both in type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Another oil, which is not an omega oil, the famous coconut oil. Virgin coconut oil has a substantial effect on blood sugar levels. Here's some experiences. Quote, my wife and daughter both have type 2 diabetes. Measure their blood sugar levels at least 3 times a day. When they eat the wrong foods and their blood sugar levels get to 80 or 100 points above normal, they don't take extra medication. They take 2 to 3 tablespoons of the coconut oil directly from the bottle. Within a half hour, their blood sugar levels will come back to normal. End of quote. Another one here. I also wanted to pass along a bit of my experience in regard to diabetes. I have been taking coconut oil since about the end of February of this year. I first started cooking with it and replacing the vegetable oils in my home. Then I started taking it by the spoon as well, about 2 tablespoons daily around the 1st of March. I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic in July of 2001. I have been looking for a way to reverse this condition since diagnosed. I have found a world of info out there on various supplements and diet, but not from my doctor, who just said, "Welcome to the club," and told me to take my meds. I was crying and he seemed to be happy. Bottom line in this, I now control my blood sugar by diet, by supplements, and with coconut oil. Cool, what? I do still check my blood sugar levels once or twice daily, and they are all good and usually better than when I was on the Amarillo RX, and I have been off the RX since the end of March of 2003. End of quote. And recent research found a connection between coconut oil and Alzheimer's disease also. It has clearly shown that Alzheimer's disease has also to do with insulin production. Some scientists refer to it as type 3 diabetes. Along with the ketogenic diet based on coconut oil, people are experiencing more and more full reversal of Alzheimer's syndromes. And not to forget the CBD, the cannabidiol. CBD has shown to decrease the need for insulin in type 1 diabetes by a significant number, 58%. CBD has also successfully reversed type 2 diabetes. It causes glucose breakdown, lipid breakdown, and increases insulin sensitivity. CBD did not only prevent the onset of diabetes, it blocked the development of diabetes. That is a quote from Dr. Raphael Meshulam, professor of medical chemistry and natural products at Hebrew University in Jerusalem, Israel. And then back to the essential oils, we can take a few examples. For example, lemon balm or melissa. Lemon balm, melissa essential oil has shown interesting effects in terms of diabetes already 10 years ago. It was tested on mice with highly diluted amounts of the oil, with the result that the markers of diabetes were reduced on several levels. The conclusion was that melissa oil, quote, administered at low concentrations, is an efficient hypoglycemic agent, probably due to enhanced glucose uptake and metabolism. Another oil is star anise, or anise also. Some research shows that anethole or trans-anethole, the active ingredient in anise seed or star anise, quote, may keep blood sugar levels in check when paired with a healthy diet. In one 45-day study in diabetic rats, anethole helped reduce high blood sugar by altering levels of several key enzymes. Anethole also enhanced the function of pancreas cells that produce insulin. Another animal study also reported that anethole improved blood sugar levels in rats with diabetes. Or coriander. Coriander oil works on the endocrine glands and stimulates the secretion of insulin from the pancreas. The result is better assimilation of sugar and better blood sugar levels. Or cinnamon. Cinnamon has shown in research to control diabetes, to enhance blood circulation, to support the functions of the heart, augment sexual function, and improve digestion. Or clove bud oil. A study on animals found that clove bud essential oil might play a role in preventing or managing type 2 diabetes. The research found that using clove oil reduced levels of certain enzymes in the pancreas that are believed to be linked to diabetes. The study also noted that the oil might be helpful in managing or preventing diabetes caused by oxidative stress. Another quite rare oil is davana. Davana is an ancient sacred plant of India. It was part of the Indian folklore medicine for treating diabetes mellitus and high blood pressure. Research has shown that davana is possibly able to harmonize certain hormonal disorders like diabetes by lowering blood sugar levels. The oil has an interesting bittersweet fragrance and confirms well that it is a member of the Artemisia genus, a powerful group of healing plants which has accompanied humans over thousands of years. Another oil, quite interesting, is pepper. People with type 2 diabetes often have other symptoms, such as high blood pressure and circulation issues. A study found that an essential oil derived from the common kitchen spice black pepper might provide a way to manage or prevent even type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. The oil contains a lot of antioxidants and helps to block certain enzymes in the body that may contribute to diabetes and high blood pressure. Also, not to forget the holy basil oil or tulsi. Quote here, holy basil may help to lower fasting and post-meal blood glucose levels. Tulsi may be useful as an adjunct to pharmacotherapy and nutrition in the treatment of metabolic disorders, thereby reducing the need for high doses of drugs, which may have adverse effects. The clinical effects suggest Tulsi may have an important role in addressing other inflammatory disorders, and that the Ayurvedic tradition of consuming Tulsi on a daily basis made an effective lifestyle measure to address many modern chronic diseases. Another essential oil is celery, for example. Glucose, triglycerides, and cholesterol levels significantly decreased, whereas insulin and high-density lipoprotein HDL levels increased in the extract administered groups as compared to the negative diabetic control group. This is from the research. And then stoke lavender. It was found that Lavandula stoicus, or stoke lavender essential oil, significantly protects against the increase of blood glucose, as well as the decrease of antioxidant enzyme activities. These findings suggest that Lavandula stoicus, or stoke lavender essential oil, protected against diabetes and oxidative stress, and that these effects are particularly due to its potent antioxidant properties. Also, quote end. And then we have another rare oil here, Amivisnaga or Hozzel. Amivisnaga is a medicinal plant oil from North Africa. It is mainly distilled in Morocco from wild-growing plants. And here a quote, Hozzel shows promise in the treatment of diabetes, according to an animal-based study published in the Journal of Pharmacotherapy in 2002. In tests on diabetic rats, the study authors found that Amivisnaga helped reduce blood sugar levels. And then finally, calamus. Acorus calamus is an ancient remedy in India and Chinese systems of medicine. In Ayurveda, it is also considered as one of the rasayanas, the famous rejuvenators. The root of the calamus plant is also largely used in therapies of diabetes in traditional folk medicine of America and Indonesia. The ethyl acetate fraction of calamus has shown to be, quote, useful for the treatment of diabetes and cardiovascular complications without body weight. And not to forget, in the end, to mention some powerful herbals to help against diabetes. This is, for example, chlorella, green tea, ginseng, ashwagandha, triphala, and aloe vera.